Yeah, bless up people, you're done now. It is I and I, Blind Visionary, aka The Conduit, back with another blind review. Before I get into the review though, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Culture Corner. Hit the notification bell. Let's get these numbers up, people. Big up to the Culture Corner. You're done now. Anyway, without further ado, it's on to the review. Today I'm going to be talking about a Culture Corner staple, regular supporter, might as well be residential resident, The Bad Seed. And this is not really an album, this is more like a cipher slash showcase with hints of a compilation. And this is his fourth release in exactly a year. And the title is The Six Presents Everything Means Nothing, Volume 1. Now, off top, this is a very, very dope project. Let me just get that out of the way. Because there's going to be some critiquing going on. And the reason is because this project and everything that follows it has the unfortunate duty of having to live up to what came before it. And what came before it was Strike the Shepherd. And what came before Strike the Shepherd was something greater than myself. So by default, that's the standard I kind of have to hold Bad Seed to. But even if you fall short of those two projects, you still can be way, way up there. It's just that you're not those two projects. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, I couldn't get Halle Berry in her prime, but I bagged Rihanna after she got thick. Get what I'm saying? Makes sense? And also, okay, let me be even more clearer with what I'm trying to say. With Chris Rock's statement that he made about men and not going backwards sexually or not being able to go backwards sexually. And by that, he meant if you meet a woman and she turn you out and all sorts of nasty, disgusting, freaky shit to you in bed, moving forward, every single woman that you deal with is going to have to either do all of those things that that woman did before or top her. You're not going to accept nothing less. Or you will, but it's just not going to do the same that that woman did to you. And that's just how the game is. But it is what it is. And it's not taking anything away from how good this shit is. I just had to explain. If you hear me saying certain things, you don't go, hey, I thought you liked this shit. Why are you saying all this? So yeah. And I kind of just have to be critical, because if I didn't, it wouldn't be a review. It would be just a praising spree. And I'll start by giving praises. Big up to the Bad Seed for not being egotistical and having enough heart and self-assurance to know that, okay, I don't need to hog the spotlight. I can shine it on others. I can share it with others. I can give others an opportunity. It's not just about me. I've seen so many artists in this similar position where them have momentum and them have a run and them just like me. So off the top, that is very commendable. And without even talking about a single bar on this, that's an already win for the culture, because I'm all about character and who you are and how you move and certain actions. So this is a show of character that I can give my utmost respect to off the bat. So yeah, big up to you for that, Seed. Moving on to who I think is the MVP of this project, for the simple fact that they came to handle business and they're on the most songs out of everybody, on this volume at least. And I'm talking about Miss Honey De Niro. Yeah, she appeared 4 times, and all 4 times she more than held it down. She came and did what was supposed to be done. She knew the assignment and she acted accordingly. You know, big up to runner-up Mr. Nam Nitty, who has what I would like to call a voice I can really, really appreciate. So everybody on this 6-man roster, like the official roster, they have different strengths and they complement each other. So whereas it's not just streamlining the roster, it's the roster mixed in with a bunch of other guests, you kind of still see the 6-man entertainment dynamic on display here. So if you are familiar, you'll be right at home. You probably might feel the same way I feel if you've heard Something Greater and Strike the Shepherd. But if you haven't, and this is like an entry level to you, you'll be more than impressed, and like you will open a rabbit hole to some really, really, really good shit, because it actually only goes up from here. So like, if you as an artist, your so-called subpar stuff is really, 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 really good, you've won before you even start winning the race. That's how I see it, because that's really, really hard to accomplish. So big up to everybody involved with this project. Big up to all the features. Big up to the Bad Seed once again for kind of curating and giving people the canvas to paint their bars. And for the most part, this is just rapidy raps, but with so many cooks in the kitchen, you couldn't really expect otherwise. And this is why I kind of chalk this up to being like a cypher showcase, as opposed to being like what Strike the Shepherd or Something Greater Than Myself was. It's like they're two different beasts, and I'm approaching them differently as far as the review. And about to get into the track breakdown, and I'm not really be talking about Seed as much, even though it's his project. But it's like, okay, I've reviewed stuff before. If you want to go back and get a general idea, you can do that, because if I did that here, it would just be me retreading ground that's been treaded on already. So yeah, go back and check my album reviews, my single reviews on this brother, to kind of get caught up with why I'm reviewing some of the things. There must be a reason why I'm reviewing so much shit from this dude. So go back and find out for yourself. And yeah, with that said, it's time to get into the section of the album review where I talk about the album tracks by detail and just kind of point out certain highlights, certain dislikes, and what have you. Now, I've actually done a quick look on 2 songs on this project, so I'm going to really be touching at length, or at semi-length, with 10 of them. So let's get into it, kids. Opens with the intro, live from the Barclays Center, produced by Rec Real. Now this is an appropriate intro, given the theme, given the title, given the setup. You know, it's appropriate to have a basketball themed opener, and it leads perfectly into the first single, which is 6-Man Shit, produced by Murder Megs, featuring Nam Nitty, Honey De Niro, and Chuck Brown. Now, if you want to know details about this, this is actually one of the 2 songs I was talking about that I've done single reviews on, so go check that out if you want to know. But just know, say it's a good opener. That's all you need to know. So then it leads into Chain Smoke Monologues, produced by Snow Goons, featuring, I hope I get this right, Anxer, probably not, and Weapon ESP. And yeah, this is, first song was First Jab. This is Second Jab, both landed. This is a really, really dope beat. I kind of noticed that Snow Goon's been doing a lot of shit that doesn't really have the signature Snow Goon sound anymore to make you go, oh shit, that's Snow Goon. So that's pretty dope, and that's the case right here. So I don't know which one of the crews, was the one responsible for this, but it just says Snow Goons. But yeah, big up to that whole crew on a whole. I've always been a fan since I discovered you back in MySpace days. So yeah, and everybody here equally did their thing, but I think the star of the show here is Weapon ESP. And the reason is because I think that he fits this audio palette better than the other two MCs. Even though the other two MCs did their thing, out of all three of them, this is Weapon ESP's song, in my opinion. So yeah, so far so good, so far so good. Then we move on to the I and I Toss featuring Mims. Wow, didn't expect that. Honey De Niro and Nam Nitty. Produced by J.R. Swift. Cuts by Tone Spliff. This is a dope beat, but compared to the shit on Strike the Shepherd, it was kind of a bit of a letdown for Mr. Swift, but hey, the MCs and the hook kind of make up for that. Everybody involved did their thing. Nice chorus from Mr. Tone Spliff, courtesy of Mr. Carter, talking about the song title. So this is just rap shit talking that speaks for itself. But then we get to one of my favorite songs. This is either my favorite song or tied with another song to be my favorite song. I haven't decided yet, but this is On Outside, produced by Nam Nitty, featuring Innocence and Mo Ruckus. Now this beat is grimy as shit, reminds me of Alchemist. Big up to Nam Nitty for this. Big up to what Seed is saying on this. Big up to what Innocence is saying on this. But most importantly, big up to the griminess that is Mo Ruckus. If you guys are up on this dude, get familiar. Like, he has a style that is so unique and original and raw, and just, I'm looking forward to his actual upcoming work. So yeah, you have a solid supporter, Mr. Mo Ruckus, and you have from Grime Wave days, so you don't know. Want to see what you're going to do on 6 Man moving forward. But yeah, as dope as this song is, in true Kevin fashion, because I got through things with an audio fine-tooth comb. The issue I have with this song, if I have to have an issue, is something that probably nobody is going to pick up on, and that's the hook. So it samples from a classic Mobb Deep song, Survival of the Fittest, right? And it's the opening from Prodigy's verse, and they kind of chop it into 2 parts. And there's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. And then them cut it off and put in from these streets that we done took. So my question is, or my issue is, why did you leave the from on the second cut? So it goes, there's a war going on outside, no man is safe from these streets that we done took. Couldn't the editor just trim off the nice little tiny from on the other one, so it'd be like, there's a war going on outside, no man is safe from these streets that we done took. Simple, problem solved. So yeah, I'm reaching for straws here to find criticism about this, but hey, it is what it is. Still love the song, just had to point that out because I heard it. Anyway, Hardaway 6. Hardaway 6 featuring Jukes Diamonds and Substance 810, produced by Team Demo. Now again, pulling at straws. Everybody did their little rhyming thingy on this very, very, very well. I am not going to take credit for actually finding something to hate on this song. That's legit. This is reaching, but yeah, the problem I have is with the beat. And the reason I have a problem with the beat is because it's not a horrible beat. There's the elements of the beat, there's nothing wrong with it, but what's wrong with it is the sample. It's a sample that's been used 963,754 million times, even to the point where Eminem used it. So as dope as the rhyming on this joint is, and as much as I love Anthony Hardaway and the fact that you're paying homage to his Dream Team jersey number, I cannot not hear the fact that I've heard so many songs with this sample, so it just kind of cancels shit out for me. So I would say this is the 1 weak point in the album to me. People who don't have the listening experience or the specific pet peeves that I do, they won't care. They'll enjoy this, so ignore me. So then we'll move on to Sick of Talking, featuring Honey De Niro, Jamel Honesty. Janelle, sorry. I'm produced by Knots, cuts by Tone Spliff. This is the one song on the album that kind of touches on some shit which is universal and very relatable, which is mental health and stress, and just how all the things in life can really make you go through it. And it's easy to make it overwhelm you, but it's really, really hard to just bite it on and keep going. And sometimes you just have to say, oh, I'm stressed the fuck out. I want to kill somebody. Stay the fuck away from me. You're saying it, that means you're not going to necessarily do it. But yeah, this is what I like to call the human universal struggle, with classic Biggie cuts from Mr. Tone Spliff over classic production from Knots. Like Knots, when Knots makes these pimped out beats, can't go wrong with it. So yeah, not a good song. But then we get to, I think I'm making a decision right now. This is my favorite song on the album, and it is called Rocky Dennis, and it's produced by Take Notes, and it is featuring Bottom Line, Greasy, I think, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, and Skanks. Now, this is grimy as hell. This is pure unadulterated boom bap. This is the kind of shit I love. Everybody just rhyming and going along the theme of you'll get fucked up to the point where you look like Rocky Dennis. Speaks for itself. No kind of fillers here, just like straight bam, bam, bam. Combos to the face, bitch. You already know. That's the type of shit this is on. And they just have a raw ass, like Griselda type back in the 90s. Like, yeah, the shit that just, everything that's good about hardcore hip hop is embodied in this song. You cannot go wrong with this song. So yeah, big up to this song. Now, I stand corrected. Turkaloo is another song I have an issue with, beat-wise, not rhyme-wise, because everybody did their thing. And it's not the entire beat that I have an issue with. It's produced by CJ Dope, featuring Honey De Niro and Tara Van Poo. Hope I got that right. But okay, So the music on this beat is fine. The rhymes are fine, you know, and kind of stick around the theme of the title of the song. So, you know, we have your gun bars. But there's this like a wind chime type thing in the beat, like a ring. And it sounds like, to those of you who have played Street Fighter 4, the character Dan, when he does his ultra and then he smiles at the camera and you hear that ring in his teeth, that's what it sounds like. And you have this beat that is really dope, but then it has this ring, ring, ring. And maybe if it was kind of in the background a little, it wouldn't piss me off as much as it does, but it's front and center. And it takes away from the otherwise excellent job that the MCs do here. Now, maybe it's because I'm blind and have super sensitive ears and I can hear ants planning picnic attacks. But it just like was like nails on a chalkboard to this ring, ring, all through the thing. Now, I apologize if you didn't notice this until I pointed it out and you can't unhear it. Sorry, but I had to bring that up. So then we'll get to Voltage, featuring Naps Nart, I think that's how you say it, and Cortona P, produced by Take Notes. Now, this is simplistic grime, minimum, but it works. Sometimes these are some of the best beats you can ever come across, where there's not much going on, but it's the right type of shit going on. And it definitely provides the perfect backdrop for all of these three MCs to just come in and just do them thing and just end the album basically, because even though there's one more song, this is the end of volume 1. So yeah, it didn't overfeed the audience because there's a volume 2. None of these pet peeves that I have are probably pet peeves that anybody else is gonna find. But I just kind of had to make this a critical review on purpose, so I didn't look like, okay, I was a damn bad seed cheerleader. And I also remember I'm operating from comparing it to something greater than myself and Strike the Shepherd. So yeah, overall, dope song. And then the final song is Stand On It, which is the one solo song produced by Nuts. And I spoke on this in a quick review, I think it was late last year. And you can kind of go back and touch on that to kind of get into details. So I will end this review by saying this. If you put out even one project in a year that is solid, you have won. And everything else is just victory laps. So in the 1 year time span that has passed, the Bad Seed won a year ago when he put out Something Greater Than Myself. Anything after that is an afterthought, because people can't put out something of that quality in their entire lifetimes. He put out 2 projects in that quality in little over 6 months. So no matter what I say about this, my credit to this dude and my respect is already established. And there's no bias. It's just that, okay, real recognize real. Good shit is good shit. And you guys who listen to a ton of shit that is along the vein that I listen to will be quite at home with this. So I advise you to support this album. Support volume 2 when it drops in a month. I will be back with a review of that. But yeah, all in all, dope project. Everybody did their thing. Big up to Bad Seed for being an ambassador. Big up to entire Six Man Entertainment. Big up to the Culture Corner. You don't know. This has been another Blind Review. I have spoken.
Stop recording video.